For the second prompt that I'm doing, I've chosen the last prompt, which was list the 5 major nutrient cycles as well as the life of one of the nutrient cycles. The first nutrient cycle that I will be going over is the carbon cycle. The carbon cycle involves the movement of carbon atoms through the ecosystem, atmosphere, oceans, and so forth. They can come from respiration, fossil fuel combustion, as well as multiple other different forms they can go through. We exhale carbon dioxide and take in oxygen, which was also one of the major ways that it travels throughout the ecosystem and the world. Another one would be the nitrogen cycle. The nitrogen cycle is a process by which nitrogen is converted between its various chemical forms, as well as how it's essential for proteins and DNA. The nitrogen cycle, as well as multiple other cycles that I'm about to go over, are essential for the body just to work, as well as how it functions. The next one is the phosphorus cycle. The phosphorus cycle is cycled through the Earth's crust, water bodies, and living organisms. That is another part of the nutrient cycle that is essential for us. That's another part of the nutrient cycle that is for us. Another one would be the water cycle. The water cycle is just the continuous movement of water over Earth, as well as through living organisms and out of living organisms. It could be through the oceans, it could be through lakes, it could be through ponds, it could be through various different forms. Like a rain, it can come down as rain, it can get evaporating and come up through the ecosystem, create clouds. Once the clouds get too full, it rains again. Could be monsoons, typhoons, it could be a lot of things. Another one is the sulfur cycle. Last is the sulfur cycle. The sulfur cycle describes the movement of sulfur through the soil. Sulfur is also a component of amino acids and vitamins that are essential to all forms of life. That is another one that is going to be essential to the living of all organisms. It is inside of our bodies. I'm not going to say it's inside of our DNA because it is inside of our bodies and it is a component of our body. Now I'm going to imagine myself as a CO2 molecule. I'm going to be floating in the atmosphere with all of the other CO2 molecules, either by chemical respiration or, like I said, the combustion of fossil fuels. It's where I'll be floating in the atmosphere. Next, I come next to a plant and I get absorbed into the plant's chlorophyll through photosynthesis. The plant is going to use me for its daily functions, just to live, and also create food from carbon dioxide. The next part that is going to be happening is I get eaten by a herbivore. One of the herbivores takes a bite of me. That is when I become part of the herbivore. I am now part of its major functions. It uses me for its daily cell functions, just basically to live, and that's about it. Next, the herbivore dies. When the herbivore is decomposing, it releases me back into the atmosphere where I can start my cycle over again, and I can either just go back into a plant or continue floating in the atmosphere. Now, I just discussed the carbon cycle. That is how I would imagine myself, as a carbon molecule floating through the atmosphere. Thank you.